Yeah. All right, graduates, you can be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Smith, the proud principal of these 8th grade students, and I'm happy to welcome you to Keene Middle School's Achievement Day 2024. To begin the ceremony, I would like to introduce the KMS Student Council Vice President, Devin Boker. So Devin, you can come up. And Devin is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you could all stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Devin. And I think we sat a little prematurely. I'm going to welcome up Olivia Gillard, and she is going to sing the national anthem. So if you could all please stand up.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
right, now we can sit. Thank you very much to Olivia Gillard. And before I continue, I'd like to thank Mr. Kyle Trombley, who was back there on piano. So thank you to Mr. Trombley. And at this time, I'm very pleased to introduce to you a remarkable young person who has become an incredible leader in her time here at KMS. She is the president of our student council. It gives me pleasure to introduce Gretchen Temple, who will deliver the welcoming address.
If I have learned one thing in my time here at Keene Middle School, it is to embrace the unpredictability of life. Over 4 years ago, we were all forced into isolation. I mean, a worldwide pandemic is about as unpredictable as you can get. But still, we carried on with our lives. And even when we got into middle school, it certainly wasn't what we were expecting. We met each other from underneath masks, did partner work with a desk in between, and ate lunch 4 to a table. But if we had stayed hung up on what wasn't instead of what was, we would have missed out on an entire year of memories and friendships. As a generation, we are increasingly aware of the political, environmental, and social state of the world. The world is changing faster than ever, and as we move into high school and grow into adulthood, it will continue to change. But our lives are not set in stone. As the world changes, and as we change, our paths will change as well. We will all be at very different places at very different points in our lives. But no matter what, we will all experience ups and downs. There will be forks and bends and goodbyes and reunions. Life is unexpected, and we will never be able to predict what comes our way. But what's important is that we embrace the unexpected and uncertainty, because it's what makes us human, and it's what makes life worth living. I think I speak for everyone when I say that I am so grateful to have shared this part of my journey with my fellow classmates and teachers. We have all made bonds and strengthened our friendships. We have all made mistakes and gotten things right. We have all laughed and cried together. We have all made such precious memories with each other. When we are adults, we won't remember all of the things we cherished so much, but what's important is that we live in the moment and appreciate where we are and all that we have. Because if we have nothing else, at least we have each other. I will leave you with a quote from my favorite book, Anne of Green Gables. Anne's horizons had closed in since the night she had sat there after coming home from Queens. But if the path set before her feet was to be narrow, she knew that flowers of quiet happiness would bloom along it. The joys of sincere work and worthy aspiration and congenial friendship were to be hers. Nothing could rob her of her birthright of fancy or her ideal world of dreams. And there was always a bend in the road. We don't need to fear the unknown in our lives, because we can carry the reassurance of hope and love in them, no matter where our paths take us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gretchen. Well done. So I want to say welcome to all guardians and guests, and we thank you for taking the time to be with us to celebrate today. There are some people joining me on stage. To my left is the KMS Assistant Principal, Ryan Margaitis. And I'd also like to recognize our Superintendent, Rob Millay, our Assistant Superintendents, Brian Campbell and Ben White, the Chair of our School Board, George Downing, and also joining us, though not on stage, is our Keene Board member and KMS liaison, Jacqueline Headings, who's down here, and Samantha Fletcher, who is our Director of Student Services, who's also down here. Did I misspeak? Yeah, human resources. Sorry, Sam. We have 192 young people who have earned the right to walk across the stage today. In the next part of our program, we will recognize 8th graders who have earned particular recognition from their teachers and or their classmates. But first, I'd like to say a few words. So first, congratulations to our 8th graders and the family, friends, and teachers who have supported them. I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, and while most of the 8th graders have no idea who that is, for the record, he's America's greatest living songwriter, and also for the record, the school counselors talked me out of a Bob Dylan-themed dance last night, so you should thank them on your way out. But I did use him as a frame of reference for a couple of my remarks. So from the time they could crawl, the students in front of us have had a front row seat to intense social, political, and technological changes. They see an American political system that doesn't seem quite as civil as what is presented in their textbooks. They are keenly aware of a growing number of international conflicts, many of them violent. The screens they carry around in their pockets connect them to the world, but also isolate them from it. These screens also provide easy access to the worst impulses of fellow social media users. They could be forgiven for echoing the sentiments of the Bob Dylan song, Trying to Get to Heaven, when he says, "I'll try to close my eyes and I'll wonder if everything is as hollow as it seems." But everything is not hollow. The world is full of wonder and meaning, just waiting to be discovered or created. The intelligent, talented, and caring class that you see in front of you is evidence that all is not lost. During my first year at KMS, I have watched students in this 8th grade class go out of their way to settle conflict, speak out against nonsense being shared online, and stand up for justice and a better world. Every year, KMS chooses a theme. This year, the theme for both faculty and students was Embracing Change. This brings me back to Bob Dylan and one of his most iconic songs, The Times They Are A-Changing. It is essentially a song that celebrates how the younger generation will lead the charge for a better world if only adults will stand aside and trust them to do so. 8th graders, the time we have spent at KMS developing your knowledge of the world and supporting your growth into adults who can be respectful, safe, and responsible has been devoted to preparing you for this responsibility. The world has always been messy, and finding your way in it has always been hard, but we send you on to the next stage with the confidence that we have helped start you on your way, and that in turn, you will one day help the rest of us find ours. To be sure, not all change is good, and not all traditions need to be changed, but never stop embracing the type of change that brings meaning to your lives and makes the world better. And the following awards are given to students who are already helping to bring about that change. So the first award is the 2024 VFW Sportsmanship Award. Students were chosen by the entire staff at Keene Middle School to receive this award. They have been chosen for their positive attitude towards school, fellow students and staff, as well as good sportsmanship. Both of these students have been very successful here at KMS and have become highly respected students among their peers and teachers. Representing the Veterans of Foreign Wars and its auxiliary are Miss Dawn Hersey, Senior Vice Commander, and taking the place of Miss Patricia Hines is Jean Perot, Auxiliary Chaplain.
Thank you very much for that introduction, and especially congratulations to you young people. You are doing an amazing job and entering a very interesting world right now. But the purpose of this is actually to tell you about this amazing student. So this first recipient has the most positive school spirit and attitude of anybody. She's an avid swimmer, and she enjoys fencing at the YMCA. She's also participated in cross-country and track here at KMS. The student is hardworking, and she is both musically and academically gifted. So the Veterans of Foreign Wars and our auxiliary is very honored to present this year's VFW Award to Nora Karinda.
The second recipient of the VFW and its auxiliary award is very deserving of this honor. He is a student whose sportsmanship and citizenship have won him the respect of everyone he's come in contact with here at Keene Middle School. He is a dedicated athlete and student. He is on the Student Council and the National Juniors Honor Society. It is a tremendous honor and privilege to present the VFW Award to Sawyer Kress.
Congratulations to Nora Sawyer and their families. Our next awards are the Faculty Character and Citizenship Awards. These awards will be presented to 4 students who have exhibited outstanding character and citizenship during their time spent at KMS. While many students are worthy of this award, the recipients chosen have exhibited outstanding work ethic and a positive attitude, excellent conduct, strong integrity, and humility. The students chosen to receive this award today have shown their fine citizenship in a variety of ways. Their courteousness and consideration towards staff and students, the respect they show as well as earn from others, and their willingness to help out in any situation are characteristics found in all 4 of our recipients. I now take pleasure in introducing 4 of our teachers who will present these awards. From Cluster E, Ms. Ledger and Mr. Pierce, and from Cluster F, Mr. Di Benedetto and Mr. O'Mara. So Ms. Ledger is up with the first Cluster E award.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, and good morning, or good afternoon, I should say, everyone. Our first Cluster E Citizenship Award is going to a student who I remember meeting early this year and got to know better after they came to me one morning and asked me the strangest of questions. Miss Ledger, can I hide some ducks in your classroom? Continually, though, throughout the year, this student continued to find new ways to engage her cluster peers in more community activities. Though talk of ducks may very well give this away, this student still deserves to hear all the wonderful things her other teachers had to say about her. Ms. Haas, in particular, noted to me that she'd started out here just in 7th grade, all the way from Alabama. And she swooped into her classroom and declared, "I am going to play the French horn." Even more so, keeping in touch with her previous teachers, such as Mr. Painshode, who said to me, not only did she show pride in her own work, but also continued to share with him the achievement his teaching gave to her writing works. And in essence, this showed her gratitude for his teaching. From every teacher, though, that I asked about this student, they all noted that she has always had friendly words for her peers, even for those who weren't her own friends, and has always been the first person to volunteer her time to ensure the enjoyment and happiness of others. With all of this, I would like to present the first Cluster E Achievement Award to none other than Nora Carindia.
The second Cluster E Award goes to a truly remarkable individual who embodies the finest qualities we hope for in a KMS student. His teachers describe him as kind, helpful, positive, respectful, and possessing an extraordinary commitment to leadership and citizenship. His qualities are both admirable and inspiring. He consistently displays a positive attitude toward his classmates and staff. His 7th grade homeroom teacher, mentioned how he brightened everyone's morning with his natural positivity, helpfulness, and empathy. His dedication to building a stronger community is truly remarkable. He volunteered in creating our cluster's social contract. He led a successful campaign to represent Cluster E in the Student Council, and recently volunteered at his former elementary school. I was fortunate to have him in my homeroom and witness his growth as a leader every day. I often found myself proud of him, especially when he represented our school in a wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington National Cemetery during our 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip. The essay he wrote to be considered for the ceremony reflected his belief in helping others, striving for excellence, and committing to selfless acts. He wrote, "Committing selfless acts can put things into perspective and create positivity, influencing peers to do the same, causing a ripple effect." His selflessness and genuine desire to strengthen our community make him a beacon of light for us all. It is an honor to recognize and celebrate this exceptional student. His impact on our school community and beyond will undoubtedly leave a lasting legacy. If anyone questions why he deserves this award, just ask anyone in the 8th grade about his character and leadership. His peers even chose him as a future president of the United States in the class superlatives. The second Cluster E Citizenship Award goes to Jack Zalaski.
Here you go, Ben.
Founding mother Abigail Adams was known for her tenacious and assertive nature, bearing the responsibilities of birthing a nation as ardently as her husband John. Her almost anachronistic independence set her apart, as reflected in her words, "If we mean to have heroes, statesmen, and philosophers, we should have learned women." Today's Cluster F Character and Citizenship Award goes to a young woman who embodies the same spirit of Adams' tenacity and dedication to learning. Character is best revealed through actions, especially those done without expecting recognition. Our awardee consistently demonstrates an unwavering commitment to doing what is right. In the classroom, she diligently completes her work with integrity and sets a standard for others to follow. Her dedication stems from a sense of responsibility and moral fortitude, not from a pursuit of accolades. She goes beyond the expected, continually pushing boundaries and embracing new challenges. Her bold choices and willingness to venture into the unknown inspire those around her. Whether initiating new projects, taking on leadership roles, or exploring new ideas, she shows that growth comes from stepping outside of our comfort zones. Notably, she brings others along on her journey, using her confidence and knowledge to bring others in rather than to stand out or alone. Her tenacity enlists others to accomplish goals. One of her 7th grade teachers noted her inspirational empathy and desire to help others, ensuring everyone feels valued and part of the bigger picture. Beyond our school, her thoughtfulness extends to the larger community. She impacts both locally and globally, showing a deep commitment to making the world a better place through actions. Her participation in leading the Student Council and the National Junior Honor Society reflects her dedication to character, service, and citizenship. Her actions have created ripples of positive change, fostering unity and purpose among her peers. One of her 6th grade teachers said, She has positively impacted nearly every corner of our community. From helping make sunflower pins to fundraise for Ukraine, to serving as the drama club's stage manager, as well as everything in between. She has shown enviable skills in leadership, problem solving, and team building. It is with great pride that I present the 2024 Faculty Character and Citizenship Award for Cluster F to Gretchen Temple.
Hey, Dominic.
Good afternoon. Every year, I enjoy hearing about the students who are celebrated by these awards, and every year, I hope that the outgoing 8th graders will consider what is being said about these students. They serve as examples for their peers, and this year's Cluster F Character and Citizenship Award is going to a young man whose classmates would do well to emulate. He is a high academic achiever who is willing to put in the hard work that leads to success. However, what makes this young man a model for other students is that his academic success is the product of an intellectual curiosity and an inquisitive nature. He truly seeks to engage in the material being studied, to understand it, to master it. But he often wants to know more and asks questions that show he is thinking deeply and engaging at a much deeper level. He is fascinated by the world around him and seems intrigued by all of the complexity and possibilities. It is those qualities that make him an example of academic engagement worthy of following. This student also serves as an example, a great example, of what it means to be a good citizen of a school community. He understands that being a good citizen means doing what is right or beneficial for the larger group instead of being simply focused on one's own interests or desires. In all of his classes, this student is an engaged and active member. He makes insightful and timely contributions and asks thoughtful questions that demonstrate his curiosity. However, this does not mean that his voice is shouted over the group or that he is the one who needs to do most of the talking. In fact, one of the most impressive attributes that this student demonstrates is his ability to listen. And when I say listen, I mean that he simply isn't quiet when other students are talking. He truly hears what his classmates are saying, and he genuinely considers their contributions and comments. When he does add his thoughts to a discussion or debate, he does so in a way that is thoughtful and considerate, even when he disagrees with the points being made by others. Above all, this student is respectful and kind. I've never heard this student utter a negative word about a fellow student. On the contrary, his teachers have commented on this student's inclination to help others and to offer assistance without being asked or prodded to do so. All of his teachers have noted his kindness and willingness to help other students. Among his classmates, he is recognized as someone who can be trusted to treat his peers with respect and compassion. This young man has also been actively engaged in a wide variety of school activities and sports. He is a member of the KMS cross-country team and track teams, as well as Keane's cross-country skiing team. He was a member of National Junior Honor Society, and for 3 years, he was chosen by his classmates to represent them in the KMS Student Council. He does all of these wonderful things without seeking credit or reward. He quietly goes about his business and does the right thing. I've never seen this student bragging or boasting. He doesn't go out of his way to be noticed, but all of his teachers and classmates have taken note of what a valuable asset this young man has been to the KMS community. Without a doubt, the students and faculty at Keene High School will also come to appreciate the positive contributions this student will undoubtedly make to their community. It is my pleasure to present the Cluster F Character and Citizenship Award to Sawyer Kress.
You go, Sean. Congratulations to all of those award winners. Next is the KMS Core Values Award. They go to 2 individuals who have exemplified KMS core values throughout their time at KMS, and Mr. Margaitis will present those awards now. Mr. Margaitis.
When asked about this student, Ms. Huntley responded that she is cheerful and a good team member who works well with others. Ms. Stacy reports that she is a pleasure to teach and spend time with. She has a very positive perspective, and her sunny attitude is contagious. She participated in the extensions program and is a creative problem solver. Mr. Smith also shared that he met this student earlier this year. She was one of several students who wanted to take a VLAX course to challenge themselves and better prepare for high school. He was impressed by her maturity, respectful attitude, and willingness to take responsibility over her own learning. She has certainly earned this award. Congratulations to Elizabeth Coughlin. Mr. Steinbring has recounted that this student's positive energy inside and outside of the classroom ripples outward toward everyone who is fortunate to be around him. He is a friend to many, a great listener, and a fun-loving, joyful person. I have been told that this student is passionate about addressing the problem of homelessness as well as suicide prevention. He works with the Ruck Up and Reese across America to ensure that our military service members are honored and respected. While in Washington, he was one of the KMS students who laid the wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. He has certainly earned this award. Congratulations to Ryan Marsh.
Thank you, Mr. Margaitis. Over a decade ago, upon retiring from Keene Middle School, a new award was dedicated in honor of James T. Day. In 1977, he became principal of Fuller School in Keene until he was selected to serve as principal of Keene Junior High School in 1983, where he continued until 1990. In that year, Mr. Day became assistant superintendent for Keene and served in that capacity through 1993. At that time, he considered himself very fortunate to have been able to return to the principalship at the renamed Keene Middle School, where he served through June of 2003. He was instrumental in the transition to a middle school model where teams of teachers work with clusters of students. For this award, 2 recipients were selected by the school principal, that's me, for their demonstrated skills in leadership, sense of humor, dedication to the arts, appreciation of diversity, service to the community, strength of character, and demonstrated caring attitude towards others. All of these attributes are those we associate closely with the qualities of Mr. Day. This award is named the James T. Day Principals Award, and the names of the recipients will be recorded and displayed on a perpetual plaque displayed within the trophy case at KMS. So the first award winner. Ms. Huntley believes that this student embodies the idea of KMS. She said he is quirky, sweet, funny, and thoughtful. Mr. Coffey described him in 3 words: selfless, kind, and insightful. He also explained how helpful he was during the Washington trip. Ms. Hamlin echoes the above sentiments, but also highlights his love of art, music, and reading. She shared that he is well-rounded and sets the bar high for himself and his peers, both academically and in matters of character. She said, and I quote, "He treated everyone the same, with kindness and respect." Ms. Budakoti shared that he can captivate those around him in a variety of ways with intelligence, musical ability, and his laughter. Congratulations to Sage Booth. All right, next award winner. Here are some words that this student's teachers used to describe her: mature, thoughtful, sincere, kind, helpful, a sophisticated critical thinker, hardworking, and curious. Ms. Huntley echoed the sentiment that she is intellectually curious, and Ms. Stacy shared that she is one of the most incredibly hardworking, creative, thoughtful, and kind students I have ever worked with. She often volunteered her time in the library, and she was also a member of the Peace and Justice Club. Congratulations to Sally Ingalls. The next award is the Robert C. Coates and Janice B. Coates Citizenship Award. It is the one award determined by a vote of the 8th graders themselves. There are 2 recipients of the award: George Downing, chairman of the Keene School Board, along with Christopher Coates, who is representing the Coates family, will present this award. Other members of the Coates family are here today as well. And if you could please stand and be recognized, members of the Coates family. And at this time, I'll turn it over to George Downing.
The Keene Board of Education provides for a number of satisfying experiences. It is my honor to be asked to be the presenter of the Robert C. Coates and Janice B. Coates Citizenship Award. Though I did not serve on the Keene Board of Education with Robert Coates, his contributions to the education and to the community of Keene are well known to those who follow him in service to the Keene School Board. Bob Coates was raised and educated in Vermont and came to Keene in the early 1950s. Once Bob had settled his family in Keene, he immersed himself in various community efforts. He was an active leader in youth baseball and the Boy Scouts. Through the efforts of Bob Coates and others, the former Monadnock Children's Center was founded in 1966. The Children's Center was responsible for starting some of the first special education programs in the region, such as Rise for Baby and Family on Washington Street. In 1963, Bob Coates was elected to the Keene Board of Education, and until his death in 1972, gave freely of himself and offered his talents to the children of Keene by constantly working to ensure improved educational opportunities. In 1971, he was elected chairman of the Keene School Board. Robert's wife, Janice B. Coates, was an exceptionally caring elementary school teacher who, after her husband's untimely death at the age of 45, successfully raised her 6 children, helping each of them to complete their college educations. Janice taught the majority of her career, first at the Marlboro Elementary School, and then for 24 years as a second-grade teacher at Simon's School. Janice was a unique and inspiring educator who embraced the hesitant learner and created a classroom community with a foundation of trust, respect, and friendship for every student. Upon retirement, her next career was at the Keene Clinic and the Keene City Clerk's Office. She also volunteered at the Keene Library, St. Bernard's Church, and many other nonprofits in the city of Keene. Because Robert and Janice Coates dedicated their lives, first to their family and then to their community, this Citizenship Award was established by the Keene School Board so that young people could be recognized for their significant contributions to their school. The Robert C. Coates and Janice B. Coates Citizenship Award is presented to 2 8th grade students who have demonstrated academic ability, engaging participation, contribution to school life, cooperativeness, and general school-wide citizenship. A permanent plaque remains here at Keene Middle School, and our recipients receive a smaller plaque. It is now my privilege to introduce the Coates family representative, son Christopher Coates.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Downing. And on behalf of my siblings, congratulations to the 8th grade class, and we wish you the best of luck on your next chapter of your education. Our first recipient is a student who embodies all the Coates Award entails. He is well-liked by his peers, a stellar athlete, and academically impressive. This student leads by example both on and off the field and in the classroom. His work ethic is like no other. It is no surprise that this well-rounded student was chosen by all of you. The 8th grade class, as this year's Robert and Janice Coates Citizenship Award recipient, is a great honor that we present this award to Charlie Fouth. The second recipient of the Robert Coates Award is a thoughtful, hardworking, non-judgmental girl. She has taken advantage of the many clubs offered at Keene Middle School, such as Peace and Justice Club and Student Council. She's also ran the tech crew for Drama Club. Her leadership skills are demonstrated through all that she participates in. She's a strong student making the high honor roll, as well as being a member of the Keene Middle School Band, Jazz Band, and the National Junior Honor Society. It is a great pleasure to present the Robert and Janice Coates Citizenship Award to Gretchen Temple.
Congratulations to the students and their families. And at this time, I welcome Miss Arrow and the 8th grade chorus to the stage where they will be performing A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman. Just going to wait briefly while they get seated. All right, you can sit. Thank you, 8th grade, and thank you, Miss Arrow and the 8th grade chorus. That was amazing. One more round of applause for them. Each year, the administration approaches the grade 8 student council members and asks them to suggest one or more speakers for their Achievement Day ceremony. This year's speaker has been an important part of the 8th grade class, and this year's speaker is Miss Marianne Lavatori.
Good afternoon, everyone. Staff, administrators, families, special guests, and most importantly, our 8th graders. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an 8th grade special educator, and I'm beyond honored to be speaking today. When I learned that I'd been chosen, I was truly surprised. It is rare when this person is not a regular ed teacher or an allied arts teacher, so this is a gift, and I'm grateful for it. As many of you know, I'm not often at a loss for words, and my students will tell you that I also sing way too much. But it was difficult to find the right words to express what I wanted to share with you. I wanted it to be perfect and profound, and then I realized it just needs to be personal. And this job is personal, and these young people need us to be personal, so here goes. I'm no Mike Smith or Gretchen Temple or Bob Dylan, but I also went with the embracing change, so bear with me. This year as a school, we worked within the theme of embracing change, and what better theme to discuss today as you all make the next natural transition to high school. I was initially thinking of doing some kind of skibbity nonchalant speech because I literally have so much aura, but I figured I'd be accused of glazing, and you'd all be like, wait, actually? But I decided to stay in my lane and stick to the theme of embracing change. You have all heard the popular sayings before: change is inevitable, and be the change you wish to see in the world. And if you don't like something, change it. And if you can't change it, change the way you think about it. And while they sound cliche, it is true. If you don't embrace change and work to become the change you truly want to be, you could potentially miss out on countless opportunities. Just recently, change came knocking at my door. After 25 years of working with 8th graders, I was told I would move to 6th grade next year. I was initially upset, scared, and fairly resistant because I will miss my team. I'm an 8th grade teacher, and what if I fail? This change was enormous, overwhelming, and a little terrifying. But after I sat with it for a bit, I thought, I am always preaching to all of you about change, and that change is good, and you need to take a shot sometimes, and you need to step outside your comfort zone, and so on. And so I decided to accept this change. I decided to fully embrace the growth mindset that I have been encouraging all these years. And I opened my mind to the new, and I am excited. As I began drafting this speech, I was reminded of all the changes you have already embraced, such as leaving your elementary school, joining new clubs and teams, making new friends, trying out new trends. The White Sox and Birkenstocks have been the most troubling lately. Changing clusters each year, and meeting new teachers, and switching your buses in New Jersey and DC because the wrong ones showed up and were too small. Some of you have been brave enough to audition for the lead in the school play, or advocated learning a new language, or even asked out that special someone. Some of you have made the team and even broken a few records. And some of you have developed new friendships that make you truly happy. You have embraced our new school principal and an entirely new grading system. Well, embrace may be a stretch on the grading one, but you were open and you did it. Some of you have even started working part-time jobs. God help us when some of you start driving. In all seriousness, you have welcomed so many changes with open arms, with courage, and with enthusiasm. Life is flux, the great philosopher Heraclitus said. There is nothing permanent except change. And you, like me, have no choice but to take the next big step. And while it might be a little scary, you have the opportunity to embrace this change and make the best of it. The opportunities that present themselves in high school are beyond exciting. You will have numerous chances to try new things and meet new people by taking advantage of the offerings, the clubs, the sports, the classes, the activities, and all the new relationships that will grow. The new will help you grow and thrive if you make the most of the opportunities given. John F. Kennedy once said, "Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future." So stay true to the wonderful young people you already are, and be open to the countless possibilities that are waiting for you. And like one of my horse-loving students recently reminded me, courage is being scared and saddling up anyway. This change is big, but you are ready for it. Some of you have been ready and excited for a while now, but for those of you who need to hear it, you are ready. You are smart and curious, theatrical and artistic, athletic and musical, and silly and hardworking and kind and helpful. And we love you for all that you are. And we will miss you, but you are ready. The next rung on the ladder is waiting for you to step up and embrace it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lavatory. Now comes the final part of this chapter, the awarding of the certificates. 8th graders will cross in front and will be presented with a certificate by myself, Mr. Millay, Mr. Campbell, Mr. White, and Mr. Margaitis. A lot of hands to shake. We practiced this yesterday. Ms. Livingood, 8th grade school counselor, will read all of the 8th grade students' names. As names are read out loud, each student will cross in front to receive his or her certificate. Also, please note in your program, those students who are being recognized for receiving high honors, they will receive inscribed paperweights with their certificates. I ask that students, parents, and guests hold their applause and refrain from cheering until the very end to allow all families to clearly hear their child's name. I promise there will be time for a long round of applause and some loud cheers at the very end. And now, the moment for which you have all been waiting, I invite the front row to please stand. And you can begin heading towards the stage to receive your certificates.
Olivia Adams. Miles Aldifer. Tessa Ash Norton. Lillian Avery. Gavin Barbaro. Logan Barrett. Lucy Battaglia. Mackenzie Bedard. Bree Bell. Avery Bemis. Riley Black. Sage Booth. Stella Booth. Bryn Bowdle. Ray Boudelet. Grace Brown. Brielle Burke. Hope Burnham. Logan Cady. Ronan Caffrey. Lily Canfield. Xavier Karen. Brooke Castor. Carlos Shagoyan. Paige Chickering. Harrison Chittick. Kayla Cretion. Delilah Christensen. Elizabeth Coughlin. Matthew Colby. Nora Corindia. Lexi Court. Lily Coda. Mosiah Cousins. Lauren Cower. Jacob Cross. Cameron Sear. Aubrey Dargy. Camden Dooley. Gemma Doty. Tesla Dragoon. Jessica Dubberly. Angela Duggan. William Dunn. Jacob Earl. Leah Edwards. Grady Erickson. Jadiel Escobar. Tatiana Escobar. Braden Fairbanks. Charlie Falf. Megan Fontaine. Trent Frazier. Jackson Frink. Grace Frock. Scarlett Froine. Taylor Galford. Henry Germana. Contessa Gilbo. Macy Gilbert. Olivia Gillard. Alexis Ginsberg. Kirsten Glasgow. Kira Graham. Jaden Graves. Diana Green. Chloe Guyette. Aaliyah Haynes. Colton Hammer. Landon Hammer. Kumi Hassan. Liam Henderson. Alexander Hook. Reese Hool. Sally Ingalls. Jade Jackson. Ava Jager. Caitlin James. Peter Jarvala. Joseph German. Adriana Jones. Ayla King. Taylor Kissling. Aubrey Cray. Sawyer Kress. Emma LeBrake. Joel Labrie. Tara Lapointe. Ada Larson. Charlie Latham. Zayden Lent. Amelia Long. Eliana Mackey. Damian Malcolm. Ethan Malcolm. Zariah Marcinic. Peyton Margitis. Owen Marsh. Ryan Marsh. Francis Martin. Madison May. Tobin McDermott. Lauren McLean. Asher Merrill. Marley Michaud. Timothy Millage. Isabel Mitchell. Rylan Morrison. Connor Muha. Tennyson Murray. Avery Nesmith. Alicia Normal. Ashley O'Brien. Kayla O'Brien. Aiden O'Donnell. Annabella Ross. Chloe Paddock. Joshua Patriquin. Jenna Pearsall. Sophie Peck. Chloe Percoco. Grace Perkins. Landon Plotzik. Cameron Pratt. Skylar Promploy. Zoe Quayle. Owen Range. Daniel Rodriguez. Serenity Russell. Tristan Rudder. Tegan Sales. Madeline Sylvia. Connor Smith. Mason Smith. Michael Smith. Ethan St. Arnold. Joshua St. Peter. Tucker Stebbins. Evelyn Swartout. Lars Tanneru. Gretchen Temple. Lucian Terrio. Cooper Tiani. Madison Tower, Lorelei Jubilee, Kylie Upton, Avery Vestal, Kittist Visser, Keon Walker, Yu Chen Wang, Mason Ward, Zachariah Waters, Ashley White, Jax Whitney, Adelaide Witchland, Lena Weigers, Hazel Wilcox, Peyton Wilder, Levi Walhawk, Ethan Wood, Decker Yardley, Catherine Yarrows, and last but not least, Jack Zalaski.
You held it in for a long time, so I'm sure there's a little bit more. Friends and family, we present to you the Keene Middle School class of 2024. All right, 8th graders, you can sit again. I know you're trying to escape, but not quite yet. Soon, our students will begin their final walk out of KMS. Once the students have exited, we will invite all guests to exit the building and transition to the locations for pickup. Those locations are outside of the building. Cluster E students will meet outside on Remillard Field. That's the field near the softball field, closest to central office. Cluster F students will meet on the track near the bleachers. Students will help direct you, staff will be around the building to help to direct you to the correct location. And students will be reporting to their homerooms briefly once they leave the auditorium to collect their belongings, and then they'll meet families outside. Once they are safely to you, please feel free to take pictures with them and friends in the fields or on the track for as long as you wish. At this time, we will ask the graduates to stand and prepare for their final parade out of the KMS auditorium and onto their next journey. Graduates, you can exit. someone was going to drop a paperweight. Didn't realize how heavy it was.
Nobody fell, so that's good. Nobody fell.
No one fell. Everyone shook hands. No one played ball.
So is our plan to announce some home run before we get these things too?
Yeah, but I mean, how long does it take to get these done?
Sue usually just lowers it
Yeah,
very quickly.
just
He's
lower it,
gonna
get them
be-
right off. We can run them around.
I feel like when we announce home runs, if we come down and get those first and then go.
Yeah, we can do that.
We usually end up with a bunch of kids that don't take them.
Yeah. All right. Thank you again for joining us. I hope everyone has a great summer. Thank you very much.